Dear students, in the previous lecture, I wanted to finish with the connectivity based web search and PageRank algorithm in particular. But despite making that lecture a bit long, I couldn't complete. So for the sake of completeness, let me continue by giving an example that will make things more clear over here. And that is, let us take up this question. For the diagraph given below, find out three sequence of iterates for the page rank values of rank values for all these nodes to be 0.2 each. 0.2 because the summation has to be necessarily 1. So I'm taking them as 1 by 5, 1 by 5, 1 by 5. So the summation is 1. Only then the future iterates, their summation would remain 1, as we have proved in the previous lecture. So in the first iteration, RP1 is 0.1 by 5 because D is 0.1. So 0.1 divided by the total number of nodes, which is 5, plus 0.9. 1 minus 0.1 is 0.9. Now 0.2 by 2, because there are two terms coming here, right? So 0.2 divided by 2 outgoing links, and then again 0.2 and 2 outgoing links, right, from P5. So this, if you calculate, my calculation should be correct, but if there is a problem in calculation, you can just oversee that, because my idea is to tell you how does it go, how does the iterates of calculation they proceed for the page rank value. Now RP2 is 0.1 by 5, you can calculate is 0.02, and this is 0.9. So their summation will not be 1 because it is the summation of these two should be 1 because this is being divided by 5 also. And then again, now for RP2, I have 3 incoming links. So 0.2 divided by the 2 outgoing links of 1. Again, the next value it is receiving is from 3. So 0.2, the initialized value divided by the 2 outgoing links. And then it is receiving from P4, RP4. RP4 is again initialized as 0.2, but there are 3 outgoing links. So that will be divided by 3. So if you calculate, that should come out to be 0.26. And RP3 likewise is 0.02 plus 0.9, 0.2 by 3, because RP3 is receiving from RP4 and it has 3 outgoing links. So 0.2 by 3 plus 0.2 by 2, because it is receiving from P5 also, and P5 has 2 outgoing links. So that is 0.17. Similarly, RP4 will be 0.11, RP5 will be 0.287. Now, when I move on to the next iterate, now RP1 is 0.02 plus 0.9, and this will remain as 2 because there are 2 outgoing links, but the updated value of RP3 should come, which is 0.7. So that is why you see 0.17 by 2. And then again, the updated value of RP5 should come, which is 0.287 divided by 2. So now this is updated to 0.22565. Right? Now RP2 0.02 plus 0.9, as we had been doing, this will be the updated value of RP1. Okay, so you can take this updated value of 0.22565 for a faster convergence. But as I cautioned you earlier, you may get a faster convergence, but then these values would have to be normalized before we proceed any further. So 0.22565 plus RP2, this is receiving, 2 is receiving from 3 places. Yeah. So the next one is coming from RP3. And RP3 is 0.17. So 0.17 divided by 2. Plus, it is also receiving from RP4, and RP4 was 0.11. So 0.11 divided by 3. That will come out to be 0.231. So that way RP3, RP4, RP5. So this was the first iteration. Before first iteration, we had initialized all the values to be 0.2, 0.2, 0.2. This is the result after first iteration. This is the result after second iteration. This will be the result after third iteration. And this will go on until it converges within the tolerance of limit epsilon. So that is how, and it should converge to the principal eigenvector of the link matrix of the directed graph, as we had seen earlier. So this is how these iterates for the page rank values that keeps working, right? Now another approach could be of finding related pages. First of all, let us understand why do we need this. If you remember, when we were talking or introducing the subject in the beginning, I had given you two resource discovery paradigms, namely browsing and searching. Right? Browsing is turning pages and searching is that finding out the index terms. And I gave you the analogy that if you have to look for a topic in a book, if you are an expert searcher, you know precisely the keyword that you're looking for. So you turn the book completely back and then you locate the index word and then the page number and you reach there. But if you are a new person to that subject, you are alien to that area or subject, then you flip pages and try to locate the topic that you have been searching for, right? Now, finding related pages is something similar, because if you know precisely the index terms that you are looking for, you can formulate the query, the AND query or the OR query or the AND or NOT query, whatever, as we had seen in the case of Boolean similarity images. That, but some search space. So one resource discovery paradigm could be finding related pages. You know of a page, you produce that page as a seed page and try to look for all the pages that are related to it. So you don't know precisely the keyword because you're not an expert in that area, but you have something similar, right? And then you try to find the related pages. I may give you the example. When you go to a bookstore, the person, the bookseller, may not be an expert in computer science, but he will look at your actions and he will see what all books you had been drawing from the shelf. And immediately he'll produce related books. Right? So similarly, finding related pages, no query formulation is required. There are two algorithms which work on it. Companion algorithm is derived from the HITS algorithm. If you remember, I introduced the HITS algorithm, hypertext induced text searching algorithm, like the Hubs and Authorities one, with the extension that it not only exploits the links, but also their order on a page. So people have devised the companion algorithm, which is very similar to Hubs and Authorities. So for a given topic, we'll try to find out for a given page, we will see what all pages it points to and what all pages are pointing to it. And in that, we also take into account the order of the links on the pages cited or the pages citing to it. That is companion algorithm. Co-citation algorithm finds pages that are frequently co-cited with the input URL. It finds other pages that are pointed to by many other pages that are all also point to you. So in that sense, if you try to understand, let me take the pen here. Yes. This companion algorithm, how does it work? Companion algorithm looks for all the pages that are pointing to it and all the pages that it is pointing to. This is companion algorithm, right? Because all the pages that are pointing to it must be related to this, and all the pages that it points to must also be related to it, barring some exceptions. We're not talking about exceptions. We are talking about the normal procedure. In the co-citation algorithm, however, The related pages are those which are co-cited by a page, right? Which are co-cited by a page. So in that sense, companion algorithm is more like parent-child relationship. These are all the parents to this page, and these are the childs to this page, right? These are childs to this page. But in co-citation algorithm, it is more of a sibling relationship. Oh, all the pages that have a common parent, they may be assumed to be related to each other. So that is the basic difference between companion algorithm and co-citation. Companion goes for parent-children relationship, whereas co-citation goes for siblings relationship. Co-citation algorithm finds pages that are frequently co-cited with the input URL. That is, it finds other pages that are pointed to by many other pages that are all also point to you. Okay. You can have multiple levels also. For example, not just the pages that are pointing to it, but also the pages that are pointing to them in turn, right? Like this. So you can go to one level, sorry, you can go to one level. Likewise, you can go to two levels on this side also. Two levels, three levels, four levels on the parent size, on the children size. You can have multiple pages there. So before we close this topic, let us revisit the couple of problems that we had in the content-based technique, and we were trying to solve it using the connectivity base. What were those problems? Number one, keyword spamming. That is removed because now we are not going by what are the contents of the page. And so you cannot have hidden keywords or keywords in the invisible ink. Rather, I am dependent on the pages that are pointing to it. So I cannot influence the pages that are pointing to me. I can influence my own contents, but I'm not influencing I cannot influence the contents of the pages authored by other people. So that keyword spamming is taken care of in the connectivity based technique. Likewise, absence of keyword. I may not be having the keyword computer on this page, but the very fact that the computer pages are pointing to it, my page will come on top or somewhere near the top because important computer pages are pointing to it. If IBM is pointing to my page, if Dell is pointing to my page, if HP is pointing to my page, even though I may not be having the word computer here, but still I will be ranked higher. Okay. Now, one more point before we go for connectivity based, because connectivity based I am ranking those pages regardless of the keywords, right? A page is important if there are many inlinks to it or there are pages with high page rank pointing to it. So there's no role of topic there, there's no role of keyword there. So usually what is done is first we begin with a content based web search so that I am able to draw a collection of pages that are belonging to a particular topic, right? Then using the companion or the co-citation algorithm, I see this is my search collection of the pages on a particular topic. There are many pages on a particular topic. Using content-based technique, I search them. Then using companion and co-citation algorithm, I broaden this group. Having related this, right? So I have a bigger group now. This bigger group, the size of this bigger group will depend on how many levels of companion or co-citation I'm taking. Now in this bigger group, I will apply connectivity based web search or hyperlink based web search or co-citation based web search in order to rank those pages for a particular topic, right? So that way for retrieval, we go for content based. Then we use related pages techniques to broaden our corpus of documents on a particular topic or keyword. And then for ranking purpose, we use connectivity based web search. So this is the comprehensive account of content based and connectivity based web search. And mind it, both these are still in the category of web content mining. We still have to learn web usage mining, how people interact with those pages on the web. So that we will study later, right? Now, so many techniques we have seen. We have seen TF-IDF, we have seen vector space model, we have seen Boolean similarity measures, we have seen hubs and authorities approach, we have seen PageRank approach. Now, which one is better? We cannot get away by saying that this is better because of these reasons. I'll have to attribute some numbers to show that this technique is better than the remaining ones, right? So for that, I need to do the performance evaluation of web search engines. Okay. So the next topic that I'm moving into is the performance evaluation of web search engines. Then we will go on to web usage mining, because I need to rank these searching algorithms in themselves, right? So the outline for our discussion will be the motivation, why we'd want to do performance evaluations of web search engine. Then we will study what is recall and precision. Then we will talk about relevance, wherein we could have objective relevance or subjective relevance. Then we'll talk about web coverage. We'll talk about relative evaluation. And then towards the end, we will discuss a few future directions. You can see that I have put a footer here, Sigmetrix Z04. This is because there was an ACM. I hope you are in final year or pre-final year, you know what is ACM. Just like we have a professional body IEEE, we also have ACM, which in many ways is more pertinent to the people of computer science and computer engineering. So ACM had a conference, Sigmetrix, in 2004. In that conference, I gave a tutorial for an hour and a half, 90 minutes tutorial to all the established searchers, researchers in the area of measurement, performance evaluation. And that conference was held in the Columbia University, which is the downtown New York, Manhattan area, where WTC used to be. So I had the good fortune of giving a tutorial single-handed in that conference. So this presentation has borrowed its seed from that presentation that I did in 2004. And you will also be pleased to know that I started research in this area in 1999 when web searching had just started. In fact, the first paper of Sergey Brin and Larry Page on the PageRank expression that appeared in 1994 in a World Wide Web conference. So they were PhD students then in 1994. Website started when I started research in web mining and web searching. So with that background, let me proceed. And at Manhattan, at the Columbia University, at this large conference of this large magnitude, I made the AMU Aligarh flag fly high by making that presentation single-handedly. I was a young assistant professor then, obviously in 2004. Now let me move on to motivation. Search engines are among the most popular and useful services on the web. Many search engines are publicly available. Which one of them to keep as a first choice? So this is motivation number. Which one to keep as first choice? Then those web search engines, they have the advertisements. So those advertisers, where should they invest in advertisement? Obviously, the better performing search engine that is liked by people more. If they advertise there, their returns will be higher. So where to invest? Which search engine to invest? So this is from the user point of view. This is from user point of view. This is from the investor or the advertiser point of view. Now, this is also one very important motivation. What we can't measure, we can't control. Quite often, I give an example, and this example is actually a sad story. But we have to take lessons from everywhere. Good stories, bad stories, sad stories, we have to learn. A few years back, there was this Air France flight which was flying from Brazil to France. But while flying over the Atlantic Ocean, the flight crashed. Everybody got down in the Atlantic. A very sad accident, of course. But when the investigators dug out the human bodies or the human remains from the depth of the ocean, they were shocked to see that the bones of the passengers were broken. Now, this is something they could not fathom, they could not understand and explain. If the plane is crashing into the ocean and everybody is dying by drowning, how come their bones are broken and not just one or two human remains? Everybody had got his or her bone broken. So then they analyzed and investigate further, and the conclusion that actually the speed sensor of the plane had gone bad. That had malfunctioned, the speed sensor. So the plane oversped. And despite being at such a height where the air pressure is so low, it came to such a speed that the plane broke into two, and the speed, the air pressure, the low air pressure at that high speed much that people could get their bones broken before they actually fell into the ocean and they drowned. So we must learn a lesson from that sad story, that what we can't measure, we can't control. If we can't measure speed, we can't control it. When we are driving on a road, we can at least make some guess about our speed by looking at the trees that are passing by, or the cars that we are crossing, or the land that is, or the road that is moving beneath the wheels. But when we are flying at that height, it hardly makes a difference to us if we fly at 700 kilometers per hour, or 1000 kilometers per hour, or 1500 kilometers per hour. You can hardly make out the difference. If we take a flight, we all know that it appears that the plane is stationary, it is hardly moving. So if we can't measure speed, we can't control speed. If we can't measure temperature, we can't control temperature. If you don't have a thermostat, which ultimately measures temperature in your air conditioner, when to cut off and when to start, there is no way you can judge that, right? So likewise, if we can't measure the web search quality, we can't control it. We can't get away by saying that I've got a better search engine than you. Everybody will say, prove it, show us the numbers. So quality has to be quantified, or the quality could be controlled. If you can't measure quality, you can't control it either. Again, I'll make a reference to the paper by Sergey Brin and Larry Page in 1994, where they had given the PageRank expression. They write at the end, the readers are invited to see for themselves how good our algorithm performs. Their algorithm was good, but this statement was very weak, not acceptable by the scientific community unless and until you attribute numbers to your performance, how good or bad you are. You can't say that he is a very intelligent person. On what basis you are saying? Give some numbers, some IQ value, whatever, right? So if we control it here. So this is one of the main motivations for us. Then we can also do weighted meta searching. Let me briefly introduce it, although we will see it in much detail later. Meta searching or a meta search engine is a search engine that doesn't have a database of its own. It takes the results from several search engines and the combined view before the user. That is meta searching, which appears good. I'm taking results from many search engines. But then if we have this search quality measure of those search engines with us, we can have weighted meta searching. I can weight the search results of all the search engines before combining them. And that weight would come based on the basis of search quality measure. For example, I'm taking Google results, I'm taking Yahoo results, I'm taking Alta Vista results, just example sake. So the results of Google, Alta Vista, Yahoo, should they be weighted equally when doing meta searching? No, we should have a better weight for Google and a lesser weight for Alta Vista and Yahoo. So it helps in weighted meta searching also. These are our strong motivations for learning performance evaluations of search engines. Now, what to evaluate? There are 6 main measurable quantities that are listed by Richard Bergen in 1979 book. This actually is a book on information retrieval. Don't think that 1979 didn't have the internet. So how are you talking about web searching? Actually, this book is on information retrieval from digital repositories. Digital repositories have been there for a long time, right? It is just that the advent of web search engine has made the digital repositories more prominent. That is the only thing. Otherwise, information retrieval was there. So information retrieval from digital repositories in general has listed 6 main matter, time lag in answering, form of presentation, whether clustering or ranking, is the ranking proper or is clustering being done? Again, recall, I gave you the importance of clustering the search results in the case of ambiguous, semantically ambiguous words like cricket, which is a sport, which is an insect. So I need to cluster them. If I cluster them, the presentation improves. So the form of presentation may also be a criteria for evaluation of website. The effort involved in obtaining results. Are you able to obtain results easily, or you have to take a lot of pains to obtain the results? Then two emphasis, call and precision. So I'll introduce them in the next slide. But these 4 points, let us keep in mind. Coverage of relevant matter. Broader the coverage, better would be the search results. That is the thumb rule. If you are able to cover the web more, the search engine will give you better results. If the web coverage is less, the web search engine will give you lesser relevant results. Many relevant results will be left out because the coverage is not there. Time lag in answering. If I'm able to produce the results, but I take painfully long results, you should pay for it. And there should be reward for somebody who's giving you quicker results. Because I want the information now. If you say that I'll give you after 3 hours, what use will it be? Form of presentation, as I emphasized using the example, and user effort involved in obtaining results. Okay, you are asking user to refine your queries, whether you are suggesting keywords to be added, you are suggesting keywords to be deleted. Why so much the user? If there is some successive refinement, let the search engine do it on its own. There are researches in that area also. You gave a few keywords, the search engine launched a result, and before producing the result, it took off related words from a thesaurus or somewhere and took the results of those also and combine all those results before presenting it. For example, somebody launched a query using car, keyword car. Now, if you just produce the pages containing car, there may be many that are left behind, like some may contain Mercedes, some may contain Audi, some may contain Maruti. They're all left behind. They did not have the word car or automobile, the synonymous term. Some of them vehicle, some of them may be having vehicles. So user effort involved in obtaining results should not be very high. Coverage should be broad, time lag should be less, form of presentation should be better, user effort involved. What do I mean by recall and precision? Let me take an example. So as I said, out of these six, 1 to 4 are among the most popular, these are claim that 1 to 4 are readily assessed, right? They can be assessed readily. I can find out what is the coverage. I can find out what is the time lag in giving the query and getting the results, form of presentation, user effort involved. But let us look at recall and precision. They measure the effectiveness of the web search, ability to retrieve relevant documents while holding back non-relevant ones. Again, remember the initial lectures in which I had said in web searching, what I want is exactly all and only, no extra, and nothing should be left out, all and only with proper ranking. Okay, so ability to retrieve relevant documents, all relevant documents while holding back non-relevants. So this is all and this is only. Assume that more effective the system, the more it will satisfy the user. It is assumed that recall and precision are sufficient for the measure of effectiveness. So recall and precision can gauge or measure the effectiveness very well. So let us see what do I mean by recall and precision. Recall is proportion of relevant material actually retrieved, and precision is proportion of retrieved material that is actually relevant. Sound similar, but they are entirely different. I'll give an example in the next slide and then things will be more clear. The alternative to precision would be fallout, proportion of non-relevant documents. This is material that is actually relevant. So this is proportion of non-relevant documents retrieved. All these require determination of relevance in some way. That is why so much emphasis is being paid on relevance. But as of now, let us understand what do I mean by recall and precision. Suppose total documents in a collection are 100. For a query queue, relevant documents are 30. For the query, the documents are 5, of which only 20 are relevant. All right. Total documents are 100. In these 100 documents, 30 are relevant for a query queue. But when I launched the query, the search engine retrieved 55 of these 100 results, and 20 of them were relevant. So what does it mean? That means 10 relevant documents were not retrieved. So I'll say recall is 20 out of 30. Total relevant were 30, but I could retrieve only 20. And precision is 20 out of 55. 20 of them were irrelevant. 20 of them only were relevant. So I have how many extra documents? I have 35 extra documents. So that will be my fallout, right? So this example will illustrate what do I mean by recall and precision. Once again, recall is proportion of relevant material actually retrieved. So 20 out of 30. 20 retrieved which were relevant and 30 were the relevant documents in all. Sorry. Precision is proportion of retrieved material that is actually relevant. So retrieved material is 55 and 20 of them are relevant. So that is precision. And 1 minus precision is fallout. Now relevance is a subjective notion. I'm making a case for my next lecture now. Everywhere you see relevant. Proportion of relevant material actually retrieved, proportion of retrieved material that is actually relevant. So relevance is of much importance, is a subjective notion that may vary from person to person. Different users may differ over relevance. The difference is not large enough though, provided that the users are bona fide ones, good users, legitimate users. Then the relevance will not have much difference, but still there will be some difference. General assumption is, should a retrieval strategy fare well under a large number of experimental conditions, that it is likely to perform well in an operational situation. So that is our general assumption, that if a retrieval strategy fare well under a large number of experimental conditions, then it is likely to perform well in an operational situation. If in experiments it is doing good, in real life also it will good. That is the general assumption that I'll make. So from this point on, we will discuss further. So let me stop here.